Hello and welcome to Origin Problem Solving. In today's video, we're going to go through step 1 and step 2 of the 8 steps of problem solving. Step 1 is perception, step 2 is define our problem. In previous videos, we did a brief review of what the 8 steps of problem solving are, and then we went into a little more deep dive of step 0, which was preparation. After preparation, we continue into step 1 and step 2. Let's get started with step 1, perception. So perception, if you saw the last video, is the who, what, where, when, and very specifically, why is it important to us? It's the 1 to 2 sentences that gets everyone on board of what we're problem solving today. It allows the people in the room to align on the overall perception of the problem. It also, if someone's picking up your A3 or your problem solving sheet, it gives them an idea of what to expect when going through that A3. Allows them to fully understand of what we went into as our perception of the problem. Now, when we talk about the perception and we say the who, what, where, when, and why is it important to us, I'm not saying you have to go through and say, okay, make sure I have my why there, or my why is it important, and make sure we have the who and the what and the when. I'm saying use that as a guideline. If it makes sense to you and it makes sense to everyone else and it's detailed enough to bring everyone together, but you're not going into, well, this is the problem is because of this. Right? That is not a problem perception. That is you solving the problem ahead of time by yourself. We want the perception just to be what the problem is, and then we'll solve it moving forward with the rest of the 8 steps of problem solving. So in this case, we have the second press felt on machine 1 is experiencing premature failures at the seam during the past 9 months, resulting in extended downtime and increased product defects. Now, I would say that's a good problem perception. It lets us know pretty specific of where, what piece of equipment we're experiencing the problem is, and which felt we're experiencing that problem, and how long that problem's been going on, and what the effect is of downtime and product defects. After the perception, we're going to further refine that problem a little bit. We're going to throw some data at it. In step 2, define our problem. We have 4 very specific things we want to point out. 1 is the ultimate goal. Think of the ultimate goal as the world-class goal. So in this case, our ultimate goal, our world-class goal for this would be 120 days life expectancy of that felt. Now, target is your more attainable goal. So our target for this is 90 days life expectancy. And maybe that 90 days is what we normally achieve. Maybe we normally achieve like 80 days and we're bumping that up to 90. Maybe 90 days works with our planned downtime. But in this case, we're saying 90 days life expectancy is what we want to achieve through this problem solving. Then we take the data and say, what are we actually experiencing? Again, in this case, we're experiencing 64 days on average for each felt. We're missing almost a third of its life, and we're experiencing defects and downtime because of it. And that gap of performance is 26 days on average. So now we know. We have our perception. We started adding data to it to narrow it down. Now we know as we move forward into step 3, now we know what our overall target is or what our gap is of what we're going to do. And our gap in this instance is 26 days. I want to give one more example of define our problem because I think it is so important, and there sometimes can be confusion between ultimate goal and what your target is. So I want to let's use recordable injuries. I'm sure anybody can relate to recordable injuries in their factory or their workplace, and maybe the ultimate goal of that would be 0. We don't want anybody to get hurt. So 0 recordable injuries is an ultimate goal. But let's say you're in a hazardous factory and there's a lot of stuff going on and you have a history of injuries throughout the workplace. And And let's say historically we have 90 injuries every single year. We wouldn't want to go right to zero. That would be too far out there. Maybe it's set up to be that way. Maybe the environment is so we can achieve zero. But to keep people focused, we want to have attainable goals. So that attainable goals, let's say our target performance would be 60 recordable injuries. So our ultimate goal and what we want to achieve eventually is 0 recordable injuries. Everyone goes home safe. Our target is, say, 58 or 64 or 85. And our actual is 90 or 94. So then we have that gap. You know, if your actual was 80 and your target is 70, you have a 10 recordable gap that you want to continue to just problem solve to close moving forward. So again, we're defining our problem, adding data to our perception, and then after this will help us kick off step 3 in the next video, which would be breaking down that problem, taking that whole pie of 10 injuries or that whole pie of 28 days averaged, and saying, okay, what are the components that make up that 28 days or those 10 injuries? And then we're going to solve for that problem one slice at a time. So if you like this video, let me know. Hit a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos coming and you want to be alerted to when I bring out future videos, then hit the subscribe button. But that is what we have today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next video.